and welcome to this how-to series of videos on ashlar-vellum's Graphite, our precision 2D and 3D drafting software. We've told you over and over that Graphite is incredibly fast to use and easy to learn, but now we're going to show you. In this series of short videos, we'll introduce Graphite and show how to draw a simple part. We'll learn the convenience of stroke commands, demonstrate how to easily create fillets and chamfers, show how to add a hole, demonstrate making changes, add dimensions to the drawing, add cross-hatching, demonstrate stretching a part and rotating it, and finally, printing a drawing. It doesn't matter if you're using Mac or Windows, the process will be the same. Afterwards, if you'd like, you can try it for yourself using the step-by-step tutorial listed on our website. The Graphite Basics tutorial covers everything from starting Graphite to printing a drawing, broken into short, easy-to-follow steps. So let's begin. I'm using a Mac, but that won't make any difference in how Graphite works. Let's start Graphite by clicking on the icon and becoming familiar with the menus and tool palette. Along the left side is a tool palette with all of the drawing tools. At the top are the menus, and below that the message line with step-by-step instructions for each tool. At the bottom is the status line with data fields. We'll see these in action and discuss their functions as we go along. We're going to begin drawing a part by constructing the basic shape. When you select the Connected Line tool from the Line Tool subpalette, you'll notice that the active icon appears in the tool palette display. But if you open the subpalette, you'll see that it's also in its same place. This allows you to develop muscle memory, always knowing where your tools are. I'll begin by drawing a vertical line 2¼ inches long. Starting at the lower left of the drawing area, I'll click to set the first point. Notice as I move the cursor, the drafting assistant provides precise placement for vertical, horizontal, and 45-degree angles to existing geometry points. I'll move upwards, displaying the vertical construction line in the drafting assistant. When the word ON appears, I'll click to set the new point. I don't have to be exact because down in the status line, the length box is highlighted, ready for me to enter 2.25, and voila, my line becomes precisely 2¼ inches long. So now let's do the second line of 1¼ inches at a 45-degree angle from that of the first line. Note the angles are measured from horizontal, not from the previous line. I'll move the cursor up and to the right at about 45 degrees using the drafting assistant. When it shows ON, I'll click to set the point. Again, not worrying about the exact length. Then down in the status line, I'll enter 1.25 for a precise measurement. Next, I'll do the horizontal line of 2 inches long. Now let's construct a vertical line that ends on the horizontal construction line through the upper point of the first line. Notice that the drafting assistant takes into consideration all the existing geometry and displays relevant information about the cursor position. Move the cursor straight down until intersect appears. Then click to set the point. In the next step, we're going to create a custom construction line at -55 degrees. Notice that our Connected Line tool will stay current in the tool palette, patiently waiting while we use the menu commands. From Graphite's top menu, select Layout and come down to Construction. The dialog box opens, ready for us to enter an angle or offset. Enter -55. Click Apply, and a permanent construction line appears as a dotted line on the screen. Just a note, these lines are placed on the construction layer and can be deleted later by selecting Delete Constructions from the Layout menu. Click to close the box. Now click on the construction line about 1 inch from the last point and enter 1 to create a 1-inch line at a -55-degree angle. Next, we want a horizontal line that is 1½ inches long. If I didn't know that it was 1½ inches, I could enter a mathematical equation to calculate it from other data. Let me show you. Because I'm going to start with an open parenthesis, I'll press Tab to enter the length field in the status line. Then I'm going to enter 2 plus 1, closed parenthesis, divided by 2, and a 1.5 inch line appears. Pretty slick, huh? Now let's construct an arc from the right endpoint of the last line to the point horizontally aligned with the first point of this part. The Connected Line tool has a really cool little feature that allows you to hold down the Option key on the Mac or the Control key on Windows and create an arc. So holding down the key, I'm going to move straight down until the word intersect appears in the Drafting Assistant. When I see the arc, I'll click. The arc appears. Let's close this figure by moving the cursor horizontally to the left to display the endpoint notation for the first line created and clicking. Let's save our file. I'm going to call it Part 1. That's the basics of drawing a two-dimensional shape in graphite. Next, we'll introduce some cool stroke commands for creating construction lines, zooming, and displaying points while in the middle of other commands. So grab another cup of coffee and click on the next video in this series. I'm Julie Bowe, Vice President of Ashlar-Vellum. Thanks for joining me.